How you guys doing? Josh here with Ohio Fish Rescue. Now I know you guys have been wanting more on the Bellagio build, and we've been working our butts off over here. So why don't we go and take a look and see all the progress and what we've done and what we've yet to do. So here's first. You can see the tanks are looking great. And you notice something on the back wall. The bubble wall is in. So we are jumping right into the action in this video. You guys asked for it, so I'm just kind of cutting out all the boring stuff and giving you more tank time. So here we have the bubble wall. I think it looks absolutely amazing. There is the second tank. There we go. You can see how the light just shimmers off the bubbles, and it looks pretty. That was the look we were going for. That's why we spaced them every 6 inches, and I think it turned out pretty good. So now you can see all the fish are loving life in their new tank, and they are pretty spread out. And you guys noticed something. Well, for one, we had to add a second filter on here because I didn't want these guys to soil the water. And you can see here is a red severum in this tank. There's also 2 clown loaches in here. Let me see if I can find the eel. He usually hides over here. Up there he is, Mr. Fire Eel. He's around the backside. You can see there is a fire eel right there. There's only the 4 fish in here, them 2 and the 2 clown loaches, which I haven't seen since I put in here. So yeah, they're hiding somewhere in here. But the tanks are doing great. No leaks whatsoever. As you can see, the tank is pretty much full to the top. So what I did here, I've been working diligently all day, and we've got some plumbing done. So what I had to do, in each overflow, there is a 2-inch bulkhead and 2 1.5-inch bulkheads in this overflow and that overflow over there. So my plan was, we're going to go ahead and pump in one side with the bubble walls making the water churn. So basically you're going up in the back, down and around. So the water's churning this way, and I'm going to pump in at a fast rate, pushing all the water through the whole tank while it's being churned, and then going out the overflow here. So what we've been doing here, went ahead and capped each of the bulkheads. So there's caps there, caps on the inside. Now we have the 2-inch drain. You guys can see the plumbing is hooked up all the way down through the stand, and it is coming over to a valve where I have it shut off, where I'm actually going to tie into our filtration system. So then we come back to this tank here, we go to the other side. This is a long walk, I'm sorry guys. But we look under this side, and that is a bulkhead that's capped, a 1.5-inch return, which I'm using, and a 2-inch bulkhead that is capped. So this is basically our return from the pump. Of course, I have a union right there with a valve, so we can go ahead and turn off the water and disconnect this side if something ever happens. And I can also disconnect the left side if something ever happens. So we've got the return plumbed on this tank. We've got the drain plumbed on this tank. That is why it is filled all the way up. I can fill it a bit more, but I am waiting on my acrylic guy to give me back a quote for new tops on this tank. Because when we got them from the liquidator out in Vegas, they were missing 6 of the lids. So I have to go and have some customly made, which won't really be hard. I just got to find the right guy to do it who has the CNC machine that wants to do it relatively quick. So moving forward, we have this tank pretty much all plumbed in. All I have to do is put in a few more sticks of pipe and take it all the way down to the end of that tank where I'm going to tie it into the filtration. But I wanted to point out something. You guys keep seeing dark spots on the wall. Well, this is where metal tank stands hit the wall, and you guys see me, brushing by it really quick, and you guys think it's black mold. Well, that right there, I know it kind of looks black on video, but that is dark green mold resistant drywall, which we use in the entire room. and that is where the paint has been scraped off and chipped off from all of the tanks that have went against this wall. I can show you, yeah, we did, you know, kills paint, so it's all mold resistant. If there was black mold in here, it would be pretty much everywhere. It is only on the bottom where we scrape it with stands and whatnot. And you can see back there, there's holes in the wall where tanks have bashed it and stuff. So I just wanted to clarify that for you guys. We have everything with mold inhibitor in it and kills paint on top of it, on top of the mold resistant drywall. See, you can see right there, that kind of looks dark and dingy. That is where a layer of paint was scraped off the wall, and we were trying to move in these Bellagio tanks, and we scraped the walls a few times. So you're seeing the green drywall come through the actual paint, as well as, you know, probably some dirt that's on the wall. But nothing to worry about, guys. So back to the tanks. This tank is plumbed in, ready to go. Now all I have to do on the cichlid tank, I have to plumb in the return, and then my overflow is pretty much right here. I'm just going to add in a little bit of pipe to my filter box. I will go over the filter box here soon, but I want to have you guys enjoy this cichlid tank for just a little bit. And I'm going to talk about what we've done here and what we plan to do. So you guys see the fish. You guys love it. A lot of you had a lot of, you know, ill thoughts about the corals in these tanks. Now some of you are still hesitant on this tank, but I'm telling you, if you guys love that tank, have a little faith in your friends over here at OFR. This tank is going to look just as impressive, if not better. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to add fish until I have my main filtration on, because those are a lot bigger fish and I don't want to overload the system. So I took all the ones that were in quarantine and I went ahead and tossed them in here so we can have some activity. So over here in the cichlid tank, you guys can see we added in some green plants, some fancy plant giants. We only had 2 right now. I have to order some more. Well, I have to find them first and then order them because I heard they were discontinued. But you guys can see we have log structures so the cichlids can hide and breed in, as well as that one there. And we have the one on the left and the one on the right. The one in the middle I'm kind of not too fond of. I don't really like it all that much. But this log structure here with the fancy plant giant coming out looks absolutely amazing. Not so much that guy. So I'm going to remove that white one and that white one right there. And we are going to go ahead and leave the log structures, giving them places to hide and breed. And then we have a bunch more decorations down here. So my thought was having these logs all the way across the front. Well, it was actually my dad's thought. Don't let me take credit for that. He wanted to try this. I was originally thinking, you know, just plants in here and a fern and another plant, just having it greenery. He came in with, let's go ahead and try and do this. I said, all right, let's go ahead and see how it looks. And I actually like it a lot. So he had a great idea there. So we're going to go ahead and line these logs up, space them sporadically so it looks a little bit, you know, more natural, and they also gives the babies places to hide. So that is what all this stuff is on the floor. So you guys see these little ships here. These kind of match the color of the coral. So what I was thinking was bringing these guys over into this tank and making this a lost at sea tank. And, you know, being with eels and other fish of the likelihood, which I can show you guys in a second here, this would be a great themed, you know, lost at sea tank. You can also see I have my little skeleton guy in here, which will go in one of the tanks, probably the lost at sea. And then we have our color tank that is all African cichlids. So you come out here, let me turn on the lights, give me 1 second. Boom, there you go. I am sorry guys, sometimes I come out here, I don't turn on the fish tank lights because I know it's only me working out here, so I leave the lights off to conserve on some power. So you guys can see the fish in here, all these are going into that Bellagio tank. You can see we've got more fire eels, so you'll have, you know, slithering things in there, the tire track eel, the black spotted eel, and you'll have oddballs like this African scat will look nice in there. He's usually supposed to be a saltwater fish, but he was raised in freshwater. So you also have sharks in there. Well, he's an iridescent shark. He's a friendly shark. But you have all different little types of, you know, oddball fish in there that'll make the corals look pretty cool. I think so. And of course we've got the bracon right there. He is in the family of the Dorado. So it's going to be fun tearing this tank apart, getting all these fish out of it, and then I get to figure out what to do with this tank because it'll be empty. Oh man, do I love figuring out what to do with tanks. Because I got an empty 350 gallon out there, which you guys are probably wondering what I'm going to do with that. Of course, here is Mr. Odin. He is healing up nicely. His scales all came back. I have no worries with him. I am actually, you can see there's one last scale there that I'm wanting to heal up, and then he's going to be tossed in the pond right behind him. And of course, this tank only has the black dragon cactus pleco, or the Pseudocanthicus serratus. There's 3 of them in there, and there's some Erwinies. But back to this tank. You guys are probably wondering what's taking so long. Well, really, it's not taking that long. I just have to finish plumbing in this return, and then I have to plumb in that drain, and then I have to hook them up to the filter box. So maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, these guys will be 100% done, and you can have all these god-awful contraptions on the front of the tanks off, but these were just temporary because I wanted to go ahead and get the fish in there because this was like a kid in the candy store. I just wanted everything, and we had to get these fish in here, and I am absolutely just 100% impressed. You know, we have lots of large tanks, and I don't normally get too impressed, but once this tank was filled and the fish went in, you just sat here, and I just sat and I looked at this tank for hours, and I'm just like, man, this was worth every single penny. All the blood, sweat, and tears, all the hard work. Man, oh man, this is one of the best tanks that are here right now. Now, we have larger tanks, which we are going to be doing something with. So you guys are going to have to stick around to see what comes of that. But I just want to give a special shout out to Mr. Rob Walton because these lights are absolutely fantastic, and they make these Bellagio tanks just pop. The color on these corals, the color on the fish, I am just amazed every time I come out here and look at them. And I think a lot of it has to do with the lighting, actually. So a big thank you, Mr. Rob Walton. This is just beautiful. So thanks, bud. Now, looking forward, all I have to do is finish the filtration, get these tanks filled the rest of the way up, and we will have this thing rolling and ready to go and on the system here in just a few days. So we're going to go ahead and work on that. You guys can go ahead and enjoy the videos that we have coming. There might be a few plot twists here on things at the rescue. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned to see what happens. We have a lot of exciting things that are going to be happening soon. And of course, we still have the backyard koi pond that is going up. So we're going to actually be breaking ground on that here soon. So I hope you guys have been enjoying all of the content because we love making it for you. If you guys want to see more crazy adventures with the Ohio Fish Rescue, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay fishy, my friend.